All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're literally stepping off the surface of the Earth. We're going to zoom way, way out to look at the vast cosmic city we call home. We'll be exploring the invisible architecture of the Milky Way exactly as it's laid out in the Heroes Mart Academy series. Let's uncover the hidden structure of our galaxy and see exactly how this curriculum views our place in the universe.
But before we even get into the heavy science, the source material actually anchors this whole cosmic exploration with a quick quote from Genesis 1:16b. He made the stars also. The curriculum uses this to illustrate their belief in a complete intentionality behind the mind-boggling scale of the universe we're about to explore. To them, these aren't just random sparks in the dark, They are the result of deliberate design. So, here is our roadmap for today. First up, the invisible cosmic architecture. Second, anatomy of the pinwheel. Third, our quiet cosmic neighborhood. Fourth, why galaxy structure matters. And finally, education, morality, and peace.
Okay, part one, the invisible cosmic architecture.
Think about your own city for a second. You've got the downtown area, the suburbs, highways connecting everything, right? Well, the source material explains that our galaxy has a super similar, highly ordered invisible architecture. It's just made entirely out of light, gravity, and gas. And to try and wrap your head around the scale of this cosmic city, the Milky Way contains hundreds of billions of stars. Hundreds of billions. To put that into perspective, our sun, that massive, blindingly bright star that literally gives us daylight, is just one single light bulb in this sprawling metropolis.
Moving right along to part two, anatomy of the pinwheel. So the Milky Way is what scientists call a barred spiral galaxy. Just picture a giant, glowing pinwheel spinning out there in space. Right in the very middle, there's a central bulge, crossed by a dense, straight bar of stars. And emanating from the ends of that bar are these long, winding spiral arms sweeping outward. These arms are essentially the busy factories of the galaxy. They're the exact places where brand new stars are constantly being formed. The source breaks down the Milky Way into three main structural components. First, the central bulge and core. Second, the flat disk that contains the spiral arms. And third, a massive surrounding sphere called the galactic halo. Let's look a little closer at the two extremes. Right at the heart of our galaxy is the galactic core. Think of this as the intense, overcrowded downtown center of the cosmic city. It is incredibly dense, with stars, highly chaotic, and entirely shrouded in dust and mystery. Scientists actually believe that hiding right in the dead center of all this traffic is a supermassive black hole, and its extreme gravity is basically anchoring the entire galaxy together. Now flip out to the very edges. Surrounding the flat spinning disk of the spiral arms is the galactic halo. You can kind of think of this as the city limits. The halo is this massive, spherical region wrapping around the rest of the galaxy. It's home to the oldest stars we have, many of which are grouped really tightly together in these ancient, beautiful formations known as globular clusters. Which brings us to part three, our quiet cosmic neighborhood. Notice the stark contrast here. On one side, we have the galactic bar, just full of intense radiation, chaos, and tightly packed stars. It would be a very, very dangerous place for a planet like Earth. But on the other side, we see our actual location, the Orion Arm. The source really emphasizes that we are placed safely out in one of the outer winding arms, far away from all that center chaos, tucked into a quiet, peaceful cosmic neighborhood. Now you might be wondering, wait, how do we know all this if we've never actually left the galaxy? Well, we map this invisible architecture using incredibly powerful scientific tools, particularly observations from the Hubble Space Telescope. By looking at the light, the gas, and the movement of other stars, scientists can essentially draw a map of our own cosmic city from the inside out. Pretty amazing, right?
All right, part four, why galaxy structure matters.
Because understanding this architecture absolutely has massive real-world applications. First off, it helps us grasp our literal place in the universe. But on a practical level, knowing how our galaxy works directly drives modern scientific exploration. The physics we learn from the galaxy structure enables the very satellite navigation systems that help planes fly and make your smartphone GPS actually work. Plus, if humanity is ever going to plan for deep space travel, we've got to understand the physical laws of the cosmic city we are traveling through.
But beyond just technology and physics, the curriculum uses this science to highlight the profound order and complexity of the cosmos. It argues that the universe is not some chaotic accident, but operates on beautifully organized, predictable physical laws. Everything is exactly where it needs to be for us to safely exist. And that transitions us perfectly into Part 5, Education, Morality, and Peace.
This brings us to a really provocative question posed by the source material. What is the point of being highly educated? Seriously, what's the point of knowing all about spiral galaxies and globular clusters if you just make choices in your personal life that end up hurting you and the people around you?
See, the core philosophy of the Heroes Mart Academy Godly Learners series is that education must be intertwined with biblical morality. They argue that having a huge IQ, getting straight A's, and knowing all the science in the world means very little without a solid foundation of moral character. The curriculum posits that you need an internal architecture that's just as ordered as the galaxy's architecture. Otherwise, education without morality is ultimately going to hurt.
To support this, the curriculum points to Romans 8:6-7, noting that while a worldly mind brings struggle, keeping your mind spiritual promises life and peace. It suggests that balancing immense scientific knowledge with deep moral character is what actually results in true peace of mind.
And that brings us to our final thought. We've seen the source material's view of a beautifully ordered Milky Way designed with a safe neighborhood specifically for us. The curriculum leaves its readers with a major challenge. Will you choose to align your mind with the ultimate builder's design? It's a fascinating look at how cosmic structure can inspire personal character. So what do you think? Keep learning, and I'll patch you in the next explainer.